We say sales goals in the Champions League and any small achievement. Or also become a Liverpool team in the home. Now Liverpool has to air some exciting young players. A brand different air Cameron Ramsey from Aberdeen, or 18 years, and a cover of or a striker from a team from a Fulham. Yeah. So where the few additions are Liverpool also make it into their team. Now additions there, Bano. One make it instant impact our team. We say additions ne few more and the departures. On the teams need to players. Yeah. But from my position, may I say City and Lusu players they can easily afford to lose those players and affect them. Okay. But Liverpool lose one player, it will take time to see whether they can replace him or not. Sadio Mane. Now, here comes Sadio Mane. I said last season, Sadio Mane has 23 goals in all competition for Liverpool. And they were caught. Now, all corner, the player no very placing no. Are we very sure say obeti very replicate that number of goals for Liverpool in the new season? Other players now can no I don't team make so much change team because already when you say Divock Origi koye no any so much of an impact player Liverpool. Minamino so call me boy. But Minamino there Liverpool can afford to lose Minamino. It sad departures ni there. The year shows betimi one sha na betimi affect Liverpool no Sadio Mane. It's a next game we are looking at whether Sadio Mane absence, Liverpool can easily recover from that absence of Abrantia. Your friend Sadio Mane. Man City lose players, but many kaka. A players Man City can easily afford to lose them. Number one, Raheem Sterling. Yeah, Gidi said Raheem Sterling numbers. Man City now amazing. 339 games for Man City, 131 goals. In fact. Since a Pep at City player of more games Edema Pep at City and Raheem Sterling 220 games for Pep at City. There is no player Pep at City in 5 years Okoni season about more games than Raheem Sterling. Even last season in the Premier League alone, Raheem Sterling has 13 goals in all competition or 17. But the rival now Raheem Sterling a player City can easily afford to lose. Abraham affect you. Okay. Again, Omasa Lusu Gabriel Jesus Eba City in 159 games, 58 goals in all competition. But the Odima City last season, getting to the tail end of the season, Abraham when City needed goals, he provided it. In fact, so when City team last season, player who provided more assists. Kevin De Bruyne, 8 assists in the Premier League. And now Brent Fenny Gabriel Jesus as who provided 8. Now he's left. But me sure say because of Julian Alvarez coming, any Brent Fenny Ebro Haaland and so more Banintino. One shot Brent Fenny Gabriel Jesus absence, City will not feel it that much. Okay. And then they go into this game. Now me share two teams in the preseason. Sometimes I don't read so much minutes into preseasons. Medical team that. Yeah. But when your team bia, then the preseason yet. Bet when a very awful preseason. But you start season then they take off. The opposite can also happen. Yeah. Obiti a wonderful preseason. They start season now.
Louis van Gaal Manchester United.
Yeah, Louis van Gaal Manchester United preseason. No or Real Madrid. No or one. They started season. It took Manchester United week 4 until they won their first week or their first match. It's a preseason there. Obi a preseason national koya. I don't want to read so much minutes into a preseason. Okay. But even that, also 2 teams, Obiako, Liverpool call Asia, and Man City call America. Liverpool call on first game, Manchester 4-0. Me for so many, read so many minutes into it. Again, on the second game they bounce back. And they say Crystal Palace 2-0. On the third game, I think it's Leipzig 5-0. So game na Darwin Nunes. Ebo 4 goals at my team. And on the last game of that preseason, almost 1-0 to Red Bull Salzburg. It's Liverpool preseason, and so that they're too encouraging per their own standard. So, especially when teams are more bona. So, game now lose to Manchester United. Now, say Crystal Palace 2-0. Now, we say Leipzig 5-0. Now, we lose 1-0 to Red Bull Salzburg. And they're too encouraging there. But again, preseason. Let's not read so much minutes into it. Man City echo preseason about 2 games per. 2 games. The first game, Club America, almost 2-1. Kevin De Bruyne be shares out 2 goals din na. And on last game was against Bayern Munich. Almost 1-0. Abrante Fen Haaland enya ne debut or say the first goal for 8 man e fe na Man City. And the medical can so 2 teams we Asia. Yeah, they're very difficult to predict who wins. Reason is very simple. Medical can even in domestic league, Man City I just say a 9 the last 5 years. Man City I 9. Liverpool I just say Baku. But a 9 now Man City I 2 of them was decided by just 1 point.
Okay.
So kaya 2009 Man City enya 98 points or G League no. Liverpool tosumienu enya 97. Last season Man City enya 93 points. Liverpool enya 92.
Yeah.
So I have very close call between these 2 teams. Even last season, how many matches between them? 3. 2 of them ended in draws. Bako and Liverpool winning now the FA Cup semi-final winning by 3 goals to 2.
Okay.
So it is always difficult to call between these 2 teams, especially having made so many changes. The impact of such changes, make on their respective teams. You can't air community shield now. Liverpool I did do. In fact, I did 15, but outright win do.
Okay.
Emu 9 there na said more. To almost say between the FA Cup and any day or GA League. But outright win there, Liverpool I did 10 times. But the last time they won the community shield, 2006. You know why? Because from 2006, that was the last time Liverpool did the FA Cup. And only FA Cup no sintino. No sir any league. What I say?
Yeah.
The community shield there, the FA Cup and the league and able. Liverpool did the last FA Cup until this season, now 2006. And then the last time OG League, 3 seasons ago. It's a community shield, the last time a Liverpool ball be until last 2 seasons, now 2006. And OG. But OG, last time a Liverpool G Premier League no ball community shield, that was 2019-2020 season.
Okay.
Do you know say Omulusu community shield? The last time they won the FA Cup, they won the community shield.
Okay.
But the last time G League,
they lost it.
They lost it. In fact, Liverpool G League, Arsenal the G FA Cup say here
Okay.
In the community shield, 1-1 the final. The Kai Passer game, the starting game na bare 12 minutes. In Aubameyang, a ball first goal the Arsenal. And Minamino, take Adema Liverpool in the 73rd minute. Game the penalties. And Arsenal winning game on 5-4 penalties. Okay. At this point, Liverpool last community shield of boy as league winners, they lost it. Now, America Man City there, community shield almost nyade. In fact, they've lost more community shield than the number of times they've won it. Omo winning community shield in the 6. Omo lose several community shield finals more than they've won it. Technically, Man City pre-season is over. Or we about 2 games pay. Adeba kwa Man City sometimes I'm not from there. You come in ultimately 3rd time or 2nd time lucky. City were a bit lucky. And ultimately league, because the way they started the league last season, why not very careful? Now start season the same way. You might not be 2nd time lucky. Okay, last season community shield Leicester show 1-0. They started season on first game and I thought Tottenham was special 1-0. Now the City are not very careful. No one started season right from the first game and hit the ground running now. Even that in the last season, the league was decided by just 1 point to pay. It was very careful. No one started right from day 1. Now started last season, no one to me recover on time 100 to me after 2 years.
Okay.
Andy, we had games media. 2 teams, I think say nothing will change. Liverpool a problem with goalkeeping. Alice injured. Kelleher any available to Adrian Bedem. We Liverpool defense now. Nothing has changed. Me sure someone able. Trent and Robertson on the fullbacks. Last season, I get to the tail end of the season, now I have Van Dijk. Any either Matip or Konate in the able. But do later stages, even in the Champions League, coach in the Bohaya, or Konate ahead of what? Matip. Me sure say season way there. Ahead there, Konate Bebo ahead of Bantia, if any Matip. Tina game, say, another goal post more. Trent, any Robertson on the fullbacks. Van Dijk, any Adaptation Konate, any able center back partnership. Mfimfini Bibian Sisai, Fabinho, Jordan Henderson, and Thiago Cantara. Bibian Sisai. Attack, and something have changed because Sadio Maniko, Darwin Nunes number. And Salah will play on the right. On the left, Luis Diaz, because Luis Diaz even at the half season, or Chedo Betimiaye. When you coach, you might be in the state of a dilemma. So what Darwin Nunes in this game now far pressure about Branton also. Roberto Fabinho any Liverpool there a father that. So what now far Mineso say one betting affected the confidence. It is all your coach between Roberto Firmino and Darwin Nunes in this game no obe to wine. What did Darwin Nunes ball against Man City? First competitive game on English soil. Now some far pressure begin to mount on the player. What if Firmino ball? Now some far a normal case you go already about team nache.
Okay.
It's a very difficult case. Coach in the team decided. Man City there, on the squad they available. Since Laporte Penepra, so Laporte Pra, Ruben Diaz Epra getting to the latter stage of last season. But my first game on last game against Bayern Munich about 57 minutes. It's just why available. It will show us Man City defense in there. City. Pep best Abraham defend Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz any wine able. Me ensure say Ruben Diaz and I say Ruben Diaz any Ebia John Stone and think Nathan Aki.
Okay.
But me ensure say coach prefer Laporte over Abraham if Nathan Aki. Fullbacks in there already Kawaka and Cancelo. Calvin Phillips amazing player. City atonu. Only me say the English national team able the Euros no. Not Calvin Phillips. And then Declan Rice and then about the central pivot the English national team, an amazing player play for the English national team. Amakodu it was final. But City and a Pep team be about double pivot. Need that. So the question is say Abrante friend Calvin Phillips no to Rodri. The answer in my seat video, I don't think so. Edia nege no Rodri nebo. So Rodri body in the advanced position no Bernardo Silva and Abrante friend Kevin De Bruyne. Last season between Bernardo Silva and Gundogan no na coaching rotate. But Cohead City and Liverpool game them umbo 2-2 no. Na Bernardo Silva. He was the best player on that day. Etenei se coaching decided between Bernardo Silva and Gundogan. The Oka Kevin De Bruyne one. I think say you go back and watch that game and choose Abrante friend Bernardo Silva. Attack ready. Haaland best 30. Haaland about 41 minutes at Man City. No, he had just 12 minutes to score on the first goal for Man City. Into only lead the attack, no. Baby, I'm betting you're fighting for position. Abrante friend Mahrez, on the right. But on the left side of Man City attack, no, a key battle. When they commanded that position, Jack Grealish a huge investment. Where preseason Man City Jack Grealish and their boss or bo. But Pep also believes so much in Phil Foden. Last season, Abrante friend Phil Foden about 19 times as false 9. This time, false 9 unemi. So when Timia command a position on that left side now Jack Grealish take his position now. One of them when you're playing time. It on the right side, on the left side, a big key battle between Abrante friend Phil Foden and Jack Grealish. But where preseason now, coach prefer Jack Grealish. So maybe Abrante friend Phil Foden is losing his position in this team. Two teams you see last season very difficult to call. Still very difficult to call. But I think that where the departures in arrival now, City a bit upgrade compared to a Liverpool team. No? So I'm going for maybe a slim win for Man City and they give no mobile against Liverpool.
Martin Christian do say yabesa so ababio bigi eso ase na afi say obeden so etimi atrance bigi ba yen hwe sa game no kakra sana ya to aso dey free Liverpool Man City.
Sure. It is not going to be an easy game. Over these two sides anytime they are meeting, you rest assured say when you share crampo in football no obenya good football, obe enjoy ball, obenya ball efe na da form. First of all, say teams mienu hia Adaptation was the two coaches. Klopp and Pep Guardiola. When it comes to meetings, any coaching career, who does it better in terms of trophies, any experience, certainly maybe Pep Guardiola ahead of a year that of Jurgen Klopp. in the country they are now, previously, omu meetings, omu battles, the Bundesliga ni manase Germany. But in England, nipa otimi yeno ye certainly Pep Guardiola. And this all compare with mumi noa. Certainly nipa ono no wasro. Our fuse and the modi mo ko anymore. Now in this particular encounter, say say bi anasa ade bi na coach beye, anasa wo say oye, na de win ne ba, nipa obeyi no, Pep Guardiola. That is number one. Number two, who had the two clubs or Munisia in terms of a history? Chrono Mowasono. Why now born homodin was our in terms of a history? Any footballer brabum, a Liverpool, and I'll be in the first. Sorry, Liverpool, dear, why? Talking about the community shield alone, watching 15 times. It is certainly. So only to Manchester City, and also the Mummy Lucy 2-2. Say about community shield. Yeah, Baba bonus or Musia. Now why not the money more was so? Now was a wee back also on liberty me away there. Obeko for Liverpool because watching 15 and a Manchester City as a club, actually just 6 times. It's apart from coaches, no. The whole experience no born home or then and never be ye diamano. So decided to obey Nema Kakrebia, Pep Guardiola. No. 2 clubs in the obey Liverpool because no, that's HVC than that of a Manchester City. Ocha Diana Nasa Oche at the Bafoma. The last time Omumi Mushia in the community shield was in the year 2019. 2019 Omushia was 1-1 and a core penalties. A core penalties, you know, a Pep Guardiola and then the Manchester City and Omuja the end free Liverpool in some. It is certainly send the Liverpool a bar. The last time I share in Aquabi Casembi or say Semishia on Nasa Mebo, Namasa no share Bima, Messiah or Dandy and Ebia. It's in Manchester City team, no coach, you know, playing body, no, have it at the back of their minds. Say you see almost the last time in the community shield. Yeah, the Yomo. And then if only we do things well and you bet me so the Yomo. And that is football for you. Osha Nuniria, Adiabako da Liverpool team. I remember game na then I very difficult and it's Andy. Liverpool is on a recovery mission. Recovery mission now Liverpool no. And they said number 1, the EPL. People are going to be asking, so do you mean that community show now EPL on them? This is the first game, cutting rather, and over or shout into the EPL season. And the last time, Liverpool a G League no, or G League in the no, Manchester City and a G League in the free and some. And a Manchester City side defended the league title in the just ended season. It is a Yababa community shield. I bet or shout into the EPL season. Recovery mission now Liverpool one. They would want to get a very good start to the coming season. And I know no person omujinaso. Now community shield I baba bebono. Omdiye bibi. Ewa community shield nimo. Now a boosty player and a confidence. Preseason ne dia mimi no umienu nim. Say about preseason ho asema. Ayana a totally different. Say na Christian Ekano. People can get very good preseason, but they be really nim na unhuomo. And new players aba. Old players a womb. This is a very good test because I am sure. So once it is a trophy, I yet make us say respected to start the English season. No, certainly amount for Beko in some fighting for the trophy. It is open to our EPL season. Test how them players our preseason. No, this is the best test for those players. And I know, and a Liverpool person will so. Nasa recovery mission number started this particular season. Our Pep Guardiola and the Manchester City solo. Omuye Bibi. No mumu say yes. You started season very well, and I know bet me a boy. Number 2, a recovery mission on the community shield itself. I know America Kano said the last time they met in the community shield, Omumi and Lucia in 2019, a Manchester City and a J. And then ask yourself to say who your coach are. Now coach team to say Liverpool. Over to me at an honum. Say Pep Guardiola and them Rantiano. Entry fouls to the beer. Not trophies are in here. Because as it stands now, so we go England now. We top 2 clubs. I baba start season na. Over to me don't say subo. Now our bomb say we no mienu. And I eba EPL na ebi omo betimi agye. Mienu obedi kan bomb din. Manchester City and Liverpool. Per how they have set up their team and the consistency on these 2 sides for the past years. And until I say 5 years I tell say about EPL. Obiansa we mu mienu ho mamma GB. A try on dominance English Premier League and so. It is a all dominate. Na se menso so ma wram no baba beje baako. No wasa baba be fa free men sema. the Liverpool bet me it's a recovery mission and in the Community Shield they are not going to sit back and watch just as it happened in 2019 and I know the bam ran the trima a bit me abo push very hard. Who are these two teams are? People are talking a lot about Erling Haaland. Haaland is a fine striker. But so what Haaland dinas or yam shewa? What Darwin Nunes Zuzu Diama or Yamun Show? Haaland in the just ended season in the Bundesliga, actually 22 goals and a demand Borussia Dortmund. The numbers are Darwin Nunes demand Benfica. Now was so the chain Haaland there. Or share 26 and a demand Benfica. It is certainly. So all her numbers now the only thing you are going to say and they say, Ebi ana Haaland Liga on only ball. Ewa Germany and some of be playing in the EP or no. A difficult league than that of the Benfica Liga Omubo and also the Portuguese Premier Liga. But the fact of the matter is that say you move in as a share baby. A numbers na e be hwe ne dia ka ho asem because baby a me ne wo ko ne yenim ho no asem. These two strikers have never played in the EPL. It's what they are now. A stage obi ngina so than waka so the experience. E baba be bru we dia so. And I say dia o de ba no e be bru we dia so. It is an entirely new league. Yenya players to say Shevchenko. Amu free talent Serie A by England. Na niema amfa. And Haaland pedigree in the level. Any profile or they back a Manchester City no and do that of a Shevchenko. Debbie. It's the overshare a numbers no. And these two coaches, any teams or Mukita, men who back use number 9s out and out and in results. Judging Klopp any Lewandowski is a typical example. Or you see no. You see the year, any other needed results. Borussia Dortmund. But on Pep Guardiola, people haven't talked about this, and I am surprised. A lot of the typical number 9s on your Maya Jumanino, a baby as here. No, a Yinas in chain, you see a midfielder in a makeshift role, elbow force number 9. From the days of Barcelona. Zlatan Ibrahimovic's story. Zlatan pedigree level, no, they call Barcelona. No. And then Nubi and Erling Haaland, they by Manchester City. But the real see no near Yinas in chain. Lionel Messi at that time, not a level of war, and then drew a nay. But you see Lionel Messi as a force number 9. At that time, either an attacking midfielder and as a wing forward. And then Babejina Honmu you see no. And that was Lionel Messi's best season in a calendar year. From January to December. I was share 91 goals. And the Pep Guardiola, yes, I didn't need any results. And it's all number 9. No more opportunity 1, 2, 3. Now Untiminya the to said you are no pen now. Ebe wi ase no na ukwa gina ba bia manipa foforo aba gina honom okọ ba Munich to Thomas Muller at a point no use Mario Götze in that position or moving to Manchester City oni Aguero things were cool Gabriel Jesus ba be wura mu e wi ase no in the just ended season obi hu Raheem Sterling na mu no obo as a force 9 Phil Foden na mu no obo as a force 9 at a point no try Jack Grealish just because the problem with number 9s, he doesn't see them to be giving him what or no epe and or building the team in such that maybe I will be person obeja number 9 or 20 goals amount. But on Pep Guardiola prefer say obenya a lot of midfielders any wingers no building a free scoring team. It's the maybe I will pe on number 9 obey your lead marksman no be 20 goals. But on only the say midfielders and 5. That's will be at me man 5 crampo be we are say no 25 and ya bro 20 so it in as much as Erling Haaland ball our ball in the Bundesliga I was so now all but the people are expecting so betimi aye aduma to a certain level no I was say hwe because papa na all ban nsem no per these track records actually so your number 9 on focus so much on wo and the DNA kind of coaches Pep Guardiola can home. You can't be any kind of coach. Those that play that kind of football possessively, the Johan Cruyff style. No, we didn't say the only way bet me Abuama goes about. Na niema ko yie no. Omon center so much the boss in the 18-yard area ni munkwa for one particular person now the betum. And 2 months a baby season ni be we no. Ofa Jurgen Klopp ono so about that same football. Na Salama obey 20. Mani ama obey 15 and 16. Na number 9 anka say Firmino no or 5. And I say Osha 9 for the past 3 seasons. Firmino original Liverpool and him abobo. But this time say Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp, and Pep Guardiola, they don't believe so much. Say I was see a bobo to suit somebody on only there anymore no goals in Intino. A baby as you know now wingers ni goals kesiye and the chain these forwards. Our Nigeria anymore no my and the Emaumo and all these reasons. Ebemana is difficult at the Erling Haaland. Ebi and our Baba be unthinkable. But for me, it is up to Pep Guardiola. Any Ellen Haaland may prove me wrong. Say, when quad you bet me you see a number 9, no one are the best out of the number 9. So now you are going to look at people on my free clubs anymore. Sadio Mane Diano, and people believe they be totally affected with Liverpool team. So, but Sadio Mane are judging crowd being very fast. The other times they will tell an interview now. Or say Mane Momo ya aware at the start of the season say your boss is in New Year and now you better asubium. It's the halfway through the season and offer Luis Diaz and then a buy and already Luis Diaz buy. Every player be back team midway through. Nobody me integrated very well. Na niama ko ye diamano ansa na ye season no. I have to play and they have a lot of qualities. Bruno Fernandes by Manchester United midway through. Your both season ni we no. Now the United player of the season. Looking at the quality of the buy. Luis Diaz buy no. Obe understand it very well. Our Sadio Mane position into up the point. Now Jurgen Klopp decided to say we have best start Luis Diaz. No pushing money as a first number 9 because he wanted to give the player the opportunity to integrate well into the Liverpool setup. And oh yes, Sadio no. Ekoye de ma brantie no. Enti the amount for who say be a problem no. Ebia na anko ye that much of a problem. Anfa ma Liverpool team no. Uria looking at the team itself. Obia wa lucy player bia I purchase said the Ababa Bishim. Maka Ellen Haaland there. So we Liverpool. The likes of Julian Alvarez a player no to tumbo EP on Ibida. This is his first time. And Wababa Bigram. And coming from entirely a different continent to Southern America. Now about mainstream Europe, it is not going to be easy. So can I name a first season of Barcelona? Now you remember doing the man brand European football no na on so. It's a lot of the Brazilians. And only a diaba kwane boa Shakhtar Donetsk ba because no more you see Ukraine as a transit point. Obano the babenya European field we are now for the TS in mainstream Europe. No baba be born football. But player here can want some Alvarez is coming straight into the EPO, one of the most difficult leagues in the world. And so therefore, in as much as say Sadio Mane a free Liverpool, it's your problem kakrabe or honomo. It is not also easy for your Manchester City team no and the kind of players are from Susu Folds. And I believe says who hate teams with me, whoever wins the midfield battle today is going to win the game. And only be favor Manchester City. Okay. Liverpool midfield. A lot of good players, but they don't have any extraordinary player in their midfield. Liverpool. Yes.
Henderson, Fabinho, Thiago Alcantara.
None of them matches up to the quality of Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne is an extraordinary midfielder. It is all Manchester City. Omo boss are possessive football in Johan Cruyff style. No? Mostly omo working on the flanks. Now when get the ball and every market in, no more baba be goals. But Man City options had the change that of a Liverpool because omo will be okita an added advantage in the shape of Kevin De Bruyne. It in as much as a flanks in the Bayer Jumano. Mostly omo will hope say a ball into so the fan film you will play or what that incisive passes. I bet me allocate attackers ama goals, but that is number 1. Number 2, so one man acquire my passes now compoa on one kasa or that kind of bullet and a long range shot. I bet me akwa round net more at 18 point in time. And I know Neboa, Emily City, Ejina in a better position ahead of that of a Liverpool. What will Liverpool midfielders no? But if you are mentioning the quality of Manchester City is also away in Finfia. Calvin Phillips we are talking about on any day. I bet me a bench here for a video as a defensive midfielder. But in Manchester City, a Jumana Rodri for some seasons now, no, I am sure that Calvin Phillips banner Auburn, he is aware. So Fernandinho Niho, it's your only backup player to the qualities of a Rodri Cascante. And certainly, and only be proven Manchester City team that solid. Looking at the statistics, looking at the players at their disposal, problem back also a Liverpool team in your goalkeeping department. But I believe, sir, one department of a club, any say cause a problem to the extent to say the other entity mon fan covano and to say defenders na your majuma ye na so mo share the goalkeeping department in a year ebia na aboa Liverpool. But with all this said and done, I believe so looking at the qualities of a Manchester City team no and how solid they have been and how good they were throughout the season, any additions on my science why no certainly it is going to go for Manchester City a slim win. But adiaba ko betimi aboa Liverpool the mindset of the recovery mission. Okay. When you push a lion to the wall, you see its reaction. And based on how omo gi yipi on free Liverpool nsem no mo defend ye any community show the last time omo chia ye no mo gi free omo nsem no Liverpool ebepe say on tenase e masa de ni binsi and that is the only mindset e betimi abo
mama server so na mintie server so kakra because this is a game I yede be open the season and the two clubs involved I said yedi kaka no changes kakra ba especially in Omumbia in attack. So bad. Bokode.
And we are the now so.
Nyankopo adum community so na near hemu kakra because Mijiri said the Kenya no investors in Sugusu monitor.
Of course.
Now almost at the Hussein Visiako, but
school B.
School B. Christian Nibigina seems to be on a slim
win for City. Well, Yanchete phobia. Nah. From all indications, City appears to be the favorite. Even betting odds na kasan say ne when you betre no ahwemu, which is very necessary. So him, we say City odds no e from kakra chain that of team friend Liverpool. But one thing I'm realizing is that more use or more AI no the artificial intelligence no the calculate odds no. We say City odds no any form bebre. As compared to that of Liverpool, I think City 2.5 and Liverpool 2.8. So even that calculation now also or the various betting sites, no, it paints a picture. Say, Omwankasa admit say straight win, enya dia bakuye automatic as a bakuye clear favorite, but just that they prefer or based on their calculations. So say City will upper hand kakra, team friend Liverpool, and that is why clearly say. Christian ma City slim win and Biggie Suma City slim win, and that is how I see it. But maybe here me pioneer the two new rivalry now ever building in the Premier League. You talk about Darwin Núñez and talk about Erling Haaland. There's this saying which is very very necessary. Andy, baby abe urebiano. So nine tintim ne ajewa tuma based on your first impression. First impression.
Okay.
Ura then I we start here na then I would me at the tour. Am I you say I'm brand TB it's about your first impression. Intimacy, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. And impression na nipa be make about you no. And no na oba be build it up at once. So I believe strongly that Liverpool fans and Man City fans will be praying and hoping that these two traditional number 9s, excellent first impression. And with Liverpool fans, some Kai Mohamed Salah by Liverpool in the first game against Watford ended 3-3. He scored and he won a penalty for Liverpool. Me sure say Sadia na Salah said Darwin Núñez beat me the same thing because Salah hit the ground running from the first official game for Liverpool 3-3 against Watford, scoring and getting a penalty. And when I know BRG to me say Salah ne dia or Chelsea ma omuyi ne tochene no the free roam ban enye that Salah. And from then when looking back Bojanu Musa Abisine Premier League was the top scorer 3 times. But it was based on an excellent first impression. Saosha Sergio Kun Aguero or joining Manchester City. City in that game says Swansea City 4-0. Aguero free bench and a buy. Free bench by no 2 goals for Manchester City. And that was the moment taking over the Manchester City attack. Because Urbano, na Zeko Hodada, na Carlos Tevez Hodada. That same season, Anna City Afa Balotelli. So Aguero needed to make an excellent first impression, and from the bench, 2 goals. Owie no man of the match. And Aguero and looking back. Until I'm looking at forwards. In recent times, Omama excellent first impression, and me sure City fans no more carry that season, you know. That 2011 season, City twice got the Premier League, and you know how dramatic it was. The last goal of the season was scored by Sergio Kun Aguero against QPR 3-2.
Yeah.
From the first moment to the last moment, he won the Premier League for Manchester City.
And not playing the Premier League trophy.
So built it up from his first impression for Manchester City after Salah making a move from Atletico Madrid. So if Haaland and Nunes can get an excellent game, that new rivalry in the building. But I think on the part of Haaland, I'll side with Biggie. Say, I'm a man in free bench, bra. So on the part of Nunes, I'm a man in free bench, bra.
Okay.
Yes. I'll prefer the traditional guys starting the game. Diogo Jota, Luis Diaz, Mohamed Salah, Firmino, Monombo. On free bench, bra. You see, if you've monitored the guy, his movement have not been bad.
And now, club air can was it seems the team players need that natural movement.
That is the only issue.
And he said the same about Ellen House or Haaland, Man City, Bayern. Or few say two teams, you know, players need that players the natural movement.
You see, adaptation ain't just a click of a button. You can't adaptation and you so me as well waiting team. It take it time. You need to understand and build a rhythm. So I saw human hurricane. They understand themselves with ease. Born Ukrainian do not way be charm away. During the glory days of Barcelona. So here's Xavi, Iniesta, Sergio Busquets,
Don't ball triangle.
I said, this are grown now, so they have that understand. They've built that telepathy. It's where ni pafofro na betoma. La me use time ani go school no. Ebia wo school bi opatase. Me you free school because antase a. Okofofra, you are going to make new friends, new teachers. Ebi kra course na de wasua wa ha no. Maths no do chapter 5, abekwa no do chapter 7. So everything seems new. It was steady a new come bi eba. Aya just obi no school harder than no coin one san ba bi no ba say. All of a sudden we gidi. Most of the newcomers be able school be boko or tiny baby. Also son ho. Ebe take it time and son was a newcomer no build friends. Ebi class you be sa question crown no start pejaninsa because everything seems new. Until me breaking it down about hon. Obe kone be na o previous school or chapter 6 how me do chapter 8. So you need to catch up. Everything will be new teachers. Ebi ahano school now no rules e school money is different. Ebi ahano timi ka uchi ni ade ahana obe kono brofo no mu yito hono ano odinti you might feel isolated as where you fish free ahade na ha. You need to it will take your time, it will take time. That is how football is. Nunes at Benfica is treated like a king. Ahoba, you are coming to serve a king in Mohamed Salah. The system evolves around you or Benfica or however no. The system evolves around Salah. Even Sadio Mane Krano Ejahoko because he was not feeling that welcoming treatment. How much more you?
Elsewhere they were working for you now. You work
for someone. And bina etwa man kona Kotoko no. Brekum Chelsea ukwa man kona ehene. Ye boma no. Aha oba ye ko anim ne ebe chiri nyina woka ho. Intu bon so wan hwe yi a obe boko kakra. That is the story of Darwin Nunes coming to Liverpool. And price tag. What steady na didn't make us say movement, okay, position, awareness, managing hopa. But his composure, the near one of Benfica in the penalty box where calm, a drew anu about to no. Oba Liverpool during the friendly matches, Russia. As a born in young by the whole brainy be, perso ye bibi. And that's why I feel when she na the next start and one man an excellent first impression. Do the man in free benching, bra. Ebi a time obe ba nine yoma e calm kakra. You can ease obe steady from far no about BCM. With Haaland, City is a team and they were not operating with the traditional number 9. Into that Yambobo ni Mobi as a target man when him. Everybody is a scorer up front. Tifu Foden to Miche. Jagrel is a bar obe trying the best. Mares to Miche. Gebe Jesus was operating from the wings. No Akati no Abishebi. Bernardo Silva she. De Bruyne she. Sterling she. That is Manchester City for you. Everybody is a scorer. And everybody is comfortable on the ball. The City, like passes in the penalty box per goal, they 15. I'm to be 15 passes for box man. City drew opponent final third, no air build up. At average of 7 players, 9 a cap ball before the ball in the back of net. I'm not talking about build up from the back. Build up for final third of the opponent.
Okay.
Nipa be 7-9 mi kabo City omo yetim omo per recycling pa omo pass wa ha no ma boro so no ma soma ko benkum no more change direction. But with Haaland, Dortmund average touches in the penalty box per goal 9.6. City 15. City need to reduce that and now treat him as a target man. We do box many thing you ever pass baby. You give it straight to him. And that is why I understand both players is going to take them time for them to adjust. Aguero adjusted because City under Roberto Mancini no more ball typical Italian football. And Atletico Madrid, that's the story. And that's similar trait. Into a buy na the City for ne year Roberto Mancini no be no year Atletico. And he was big, he was not a matured. Aguero free Spain but not a matured pa. But Nunes ne Haaland, they are all growing. Obieno we getting close to the prime and any peak. These are players who are developing. Salah no be bia feneni so. About Chelsea, abe players an underdog. Ako Roma could developing over. Into no san oba ni muamia. But Salah every Roma eba no betimi da compare Nunes free Benfica eba. That is the story. So these are potentials, but they are not up there. So the coaches should try as much as possible to manage them. Boys, I see this game as a match. Coaches need to exploit. Over 2.5.
Over 2.5.
Yeah, because coaches need to exploit. And so rigid. Okay. Even though caps is so, but they will play with some level of freedom. They will pay attention to details. These are both coaches who pay attention to details. But send in the league, in the Champions League, will be different from the Community Shield. So I see this as a goal festival over 2.5. Okay. And a game that I'll go in for City. Combo hono. So you combo ni be there. She combo na. Maybe why a City win or draw over 2.5. No bo say hono. Be balance books na kama.
Yeah, be heard it's again. But Christian, one more time kakra o ka so be here Batomi ohun adwuma.
Oh, Batomi de Andy. Me de ibi majari just 1 minute penen kam see nke enye ne mandi kra ba bo so me de first one jare fan to so ne nra de. Batomi no be fa Barca between 2014 to 2019. No befa Barcelona no spending on players alone or 34 players 1.82 billion euros on player purchases. 34 players between 2014 and 2019. Aro seven say enye Batomi no to me oto Neymar, Sandro Rosell and a to Neymar. Sandro Rosell to Neymar na no resign here because of Neymar say purchases na man resign here. And I be take over. Nyo na to Neymar. But nyo na to Neymar no. Onso na di Neymar ho mfa so o. But Batomi onso na be to Neymar. Agi Neymar ska 222 million euros
from PSG.
From PSG. Now the other one is say 34 players now to no. Coutinho 145 million. Dembele 130. Griezmann 120. De Jong 75. Pjanic kran hemia Pjanic de atamelo so eso ne so ene de kwaje Pjanic o ka saadi ni bomu a e kosi Barcelona more than 70 million. Lenglet on the tono Trincao Paco Acasa Paulino Ada Turan Andre Gomez. Do you say the players are papa ne spending Barcelona sika e de koto to mo entu sha hwe players o to mo na hwe players are ono so ton omo. So here on the screen, I think say on your left side, Eddie Rotomo. But the highest purchases and on the right side, you know. Coutinho 145, Dembele 130, Griezmann 120, De Jong 75, Pjanic 60, and Oton, you know. Neymar 222, Atamelo 72, Paulino 42, Malcolm 40, Jasper Cillesen 35. So even sales, Papani generates from sales. Now La Liga at a point, said he was not supposed to be spending more than 70% of revenue on wages. And all three officers, Nabasa expended 115% of revenue on wages. So breaking it down, a Chelsea car ever Barcelona muno. This is 50% of it. Trotimetia, Ekatuanquaka. And the operational cost, even wages in Kwa. And now a story. Sebasa aspend this capa.
Yeah.
But how they compare in the past, this current management, I an amazing job. Say Jared in the next picture, never to swan. Say I told how many players.
They are more
yes.
Free for them.
What they waiting for? Players waiting for
Robert Lewandowski, Jules Koundé, Rafinha, Christensen, Frank Kessie.
How much? 150 million euros in the past under the former administration. 950 million euros at one player.
What they not talk about Coutinho?
No pay at Coutinho pay. Now a new management come spend. In fact, I did to see I spend this car. But in life, you need to compare the past and present and see your future. So how to compare what you've done in the past? Send a Coutinho 145 million. Now this has relatively same amount of money spent on these players are Matthew Alemani and the current president in your statue. Bartomeu
based on
Bartomeu and then for the day. If causing financial loss to a state relevant in football terms, he needs to be charged. Because Barcelona state now Barcelona becoming was because of how meaning how he was managing the club. I don't know how no manage club no so to manage club na PFM say what say unthinkable sesika eba PFM say nyina no entimi ntua my for kraka the microphone say ya obede no ato seat is obede no ato untimi nto even electricity for adema betima nyina because aketua kra no scan ntimi ntua ntisa mess na Bartomeu left behind these people are fixing it. Now, I think say so unfair on their part to judge them say they are spending so much money. Yes, they spend so much money, but comparatively, in the past, Bartomeu the sales cano better one player pay. On the sales cano and 5, not just 5 players, quality players. In the past, the sales cano team to Lewandowski. Okay, I'm going to fan Lewandowski in Kwang because the Coutinho by 145 million. Imagine Barcelona buying Coutinho at that time. Baby I be there. Barcelona for will be now. I think a recovery financially, it will take time. And yes, it better take maybe 2-3 seasons. But steps taken by this current management, inspire hope. Maniaji, we have spent money more than Man City there. We have spent money more than Arsenal. But comparatively what they've done in the past, this has been one of the summer transfer prudent businesses. I am so impressed.
They even brought on before this transfer. I said now we buy Daniel Alves Beboa Kakra.
Yeah.
Ferran Torres buy. Aubameyang buy.
Adama
Traore buy. See, they na Bartomeu here and say na you be a wenyini. They be a person who you fenti make up na. Oh, but we dey buy and what you to say yenyini. To the use natural therapy in here. Oh, and the natural therapy any make up no. Ne born in your pet. At with Bartomeu, name a call as a Coutinho Bishop. And at that time, you pay huge. As a Dembele labor, as a Griezmann labor. So short-term success, maintaining the Barcelona standard, no matter the cost, was the plan. But there was a time he needed to add into share under Bartomeu. The bridge between La Masia and Barcelona proper gap will be seen. So players from La Masia, they were not getting access to Barcelona, but rather going elsewhere. Because he was so much obsessed, that's the word, obsessed with glory and maintaining Barcelona at the top, no matter the cost. And because of that, he refused the traditions of the club. You know, I Pedri Moba, Ebebobi, say Gavi Moba. So you can see, Ansu Fati Moba, Eti Nikombai. So on say one Porter buy and was go back to the basis. Barcelona foundation is the La Masia. You going for top notch. It's say in the past no muntu. So muto Ronaldinho. But not the basis no other the foundation, and that foundation is what the La Masia. But with Bartomeu Frankie de Jong hakofanaba. So everything about the basis was abandoned just to sustain the club at the top. And where and far, it comes with huge disgrace. And far, you are a god. But you are an angel.
Even on that sustenance, you go to the transfer market. Coutinho, this current management at that time would not have bought him at that price.
Yes.
Frankie de Jong says our current management and at that time come to Frankie de Jong at that price.
Sometimes Adiana Kasa Boni it me the also and be a upe so auto phone way. Unya ope. When ya ujidi say o yam bia. O share yam ni ye bet me aye the phone way yamawa. Fine, opa bra opa member. But in the shape of Bartomeu, no, I abandoned the base, so the young guys were not even getting an opportunity to prove themselves. But what you wear more, Sanka Barcelona midfield. Katetenanka ombeto bibriaba. Kaya ma pedri mo ne gavi mo ni komu mejeji na also mobile bede.
Sasem we na atuma jersey so unse Usman Dembele even before extending the contract need demands to FC Barcelona. At the point Laporta said this is what we can offer.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it.
That's it.
Yeah. And that's the difference between Laporte and Bartomeu. Senka Laporte ni Mathieu Alemany the call crazy man who and on board 130 million wagas one top. What I say? So I'm gonna call a way home Dembele home a call Coutinho home 145 million euros at that time now. Now they are the Musande. Those time in there. Time and I players weddings.
This time.
And but Barcelona are now buying a cheaper rate than they did in the past.
That's the difference between managers. We were vision, we understand, we to game nase. And the politics behind it. Now Barca could play. Look at how they pick them. They are picking players ahead of clubs. As I side with Christian, new management, they are really giving Barcelona the results and they are back to the basis.
But Biggie, team say supporters muacho Manchester United supporters muacho with Alex Ferguson coming back to Manchester United. No, he's always been there for Manchester United, but this time Oba mainstream again for Manchester United. And now supporters need to feel that why are we still living in the shadows of Alex Ferguson? We should move away from Ferguson now, young focus. But supporters ni muache.
Makasa same way, and I am going to repeat it. One thing about football is and I say we are Senabrabona Yebono, a brebiane dieba. And they so decided to use old methods. Now they are paying new results. Definitely it's not going to work. They also say Alex Ferguson Yema Manchester. Why I we a DBS manager say Alex Ferguson Yema United. Why yes I the corner we and why yes I the corner we are. Manen konko tenase. The kind of respect that was out the man obeti media mano. Say coach biba. Personally, na say coach ni feel say obey here advice be the free say Alex Ferguson wa. That is the coach's problem. But it shouldn't be like say Manchester United club as a whole. It decided say it should be about Ferguson. That is one of the biggest problems that Manchester United are facing recently. Me say Manchester United situation no. It is say sikaniba ne papa uwejano. De bia ne wo fa bia baba be dia de akola ne sori ana wo su na me papa ti ase a anka we no be ya ma me papa ti ase anka we no be ya ma me until sa akola ne be hu sa ne papa ni obium enti there is nowhere ne papa be san aba biom no no anka sa be fa ne destiny e de asho no one nsem no decide de ama ne ho no akola ne be tena se anwinwi sa abra wo nya progress bia wo na abra bom. Alex Ferguson, Man United, it is time. So me live under the shadows of Alex Ferguson. No be free ho. Omatena ho no match do. It's like everything about the Manchester United club should be around Alex Ferguson, of which I just don't get it. You hire coaches, you give them the opportunity to work for you, and so therefore respect what all the coaches no. No more yeah, Juma the club no more achieving results and what's all yeah. Alex Ferguson involvement in the does too much, Andy, and I believe it is not going to help. Obiabe to me, I want your opinion, and that is how Kawama supporters in more channel. People feel say Alex Ferguson a yebida or when Diano, it was so Timmy Boa, Emma Manchester United a conking. That is why I was talking about using old methods to get new results. Menya sure said ne. Chelsea Jones are too quick few. or the Heart to Folk team name mano, and also you involved in Heart to Folk. Or bet me a year Jumano to the level of Heart to Folk bet me as I go achieve the Oyan maybe a chum our African interclub competition mono because and near masters. Sad time mono, a lot of the players were ready to stay in the country and play, and a lot of them travel outside. And those we compete with, and I keeping your best against them. Today they coming to buy our best. And this all kofa obitisa to kwefi asaba Heart to Folk. And you remember Diamana Kaka, this be also decided to pump money. Just like Omo and Omo G African Interclub competition, you know. And that is the situation at Manchester United home. You see the involvement of Sir Alex Ferguson and Francis anything extraordinary. Our Manchester United team anymore. He should be respected. He should be regarded as Obi our year Juma club neda. Any level of the club na ekoko druye. But there is too much involvement, and I believe say it is time. Some Manchester United ever tell him no wajina brane, no year Juma. Now let's forget him to wajina respect. I want the baby.
Yamra Fiani FM and to us happy on 95.7 FM. Now, Ghana man penny His Excellency Nana Koku for report habitu and say Wadarati Sports Ministry any Ghana Football Association say among collaborating with retired footballers. No more so bet me develop grassroots football. Jiri say no ebeboa ama Ghana Black Stars any football and so Ghana no bibia etmi akwa come and say a tax for the sports ministry any GFA on how they can collaborate with the retired footballers now for developing a grassroots football. Black Princesses and so ebesia kan ewo the FIFA under 20 Women's World Cup ewo Costa Rica and Ghana ekofiemu ewo France ama France under 20 kusia kan. The attendance after Jumediano Ghana elusu by 4-0 in that friendly game editia France almost under 20 women's team. Black Galaxy the local Black Stars no almost be jina kuri nyame admo and then any Benin so first leg course Cape Coast no Ghana kamiensa Emma Benin for intimate and a return encounter no ensu ebetimi abaso na Kumasi Sante Koroko kakra na yentoa so dia Kumasi Sante Koroko reporter Eban said pre-season no nyame atuma Sante Koroko ebeja ede ama youth team coach Abdullah Ghazali on Monday now start a pre-season na no ostatia reporter Eban said new coach ebeba no coach Abdullah Ghazali ebe double as first assistant coach ede ama new coach ebeba ntino regardless of so we are coach neba no suka so an assistant the tennis also mujitum say Abdullah Ghazali and be first assistant to a new coach however Kumasi Asante Kotoko said yes Asante Kotoko just once and summer they say and 2-4 picture them and say no Dr. Randy Abi ESCO member Dr. Randy Abi who anything wrong was say yadi otumfo image edi abo Asante Kotoko omo jesimono ohun boni bi ewum.
And I think people are even crying more than the beer, and we are missing a fundamental point. The issue is that your mentia and your otumfo Kotoko management and now on board omo decided say ombeye just away no. Did they seek the authorization of mentia? Did mentia see the design? Did they approve of same? If all these steps were taken, and I believe that is what will happen. Mentia sure say Kotoko management in the board no will just get up and go and do something like that. So I'm sure that they would have taken the steps. If they did and Menchia authorized it, what is the big deal? What is all this talk about? Yet on just 1,000 here, open to me in Tom Fan in 98 years. And I say players and share, I say support a share not the Kotra Stadium, not the share Kotoko. I know the Yengu to for any massive. What is the meaning of that? The meaning of that? I mean the fact that Obi will be sad and then see that no does not mean say it cannot be done. Yeah, you saw 2 for images or t-shirts, so posters, so tomato, souvenirs, so what? So if they found a way of also using the thing to promote it, you know, for me, I think the fundamental issue is because as we speak today, we've not heard Menchia say, why did you go and do this? We didn't authorize it. You cannot do it. And I'm saying, I'll be surprised if the Kotoko management not seek the authorization before they did that and even showed that would have been the issue. Say you go and use Otumfo's image and all that without express permission. I'm sure, say definitely that would have been done. And if it's been done and they've okayed it now, what is all the hue and cry believe said they will even try to do something like that without the express authorization of Menchia and Otumfo? I'm not sure. And if they did that, why? So know, we can use Otunfo's image for a year t-shirt and Antumana, everything else, but his own club, it cannot be used. What is the logic? I mean, if people, the issue of doing just is they are different. So they obviously can decide, they can decide to design a beer, a different almeton for special category of people and all that. They can also do some which is a bit more affordable for the rank and file and all. So those things, I'm sure that their management will be thinking about it. I think that there's necessary a year around this whole
like stepping one could lose him on Betia just is no so
yes, he 200,000 and now being 20 years. What is the big deal about that? I mean, what's the big deal about that? And I say Otunfo image I want to mass or being 20 issue about it. In any case, don't we know say football no, you can lose, you can win, you can draw.
Dr. Randy Abedi Ateneka no sounds to us say onu kra de ohunu senka Otunfo image na ebom no eno ebeboa ama Kotoko etmi aton Jesus no across the world.
That they use the image and the influence of Otunfo to of course drive fundraising. I'm sure say that's the big thing. That feature alone no can drive lots of people, even probably non-Kotoko supporters who admire the king and the royalty and Menshia and all that. To even so it could drive sales all across the world. I'm sure that is the thinking, to use the image and influence of Otunfo to drive sales, thereby raise funds for the club. And I'm sure Otunfo and Kasano, if that is something that can rake in a lot of money and he won't have to go and look for money to support the team. We know there are many times that he's been called upon to look for resources to support the team and all that. I think that is innovative. Once they have done the fundamental thing of seeking the consent of Otunfo and Menshia, showing them the design, Menshia and Otunfo are proving same. I think that all the talks about is pretty. I think that people should really focus on how we all can be innovative in a new way and new thinking in terms of how we are running football.
Dr. Randy Abe and I Teneka na Sante Kotoko ma memfa we mra se report ne se Kotoko management direct a legal team of Asante Kotoko se omon share with processes I ne ombakwa cars na abranche friends Richmond Lambton appeal no enso etimi akoboa me bia konkan Ghana Football Association report yenya ene se nyame adma September no hwe se ombe announce headline sponsor the ama the Ghana Premier League. How to folk say has ebesan so fludi two more players abranche friends Ajeni Boating any Enoch Ado na eno said siatie the free hard to focus way and so the airbar so and Sule Muntari so you so joining a preseason even inside the contract but we are joining preseason that hard to focus way and also a report kakre free house and so akache airbar and away. Christian, if you're so free.
Black Galaxies now we expect them to qualify 3-0 na so Botoni dia we can't forgive them. The last time Ghana team qualified for this tournament made in addition Boboni team drew final we lost to first DR Congo there about if you can ask a qualification ya diamaye ain't nankere ka say Ghana crab at this level we say Nigeria na mkwakọ board the next level no eti baby twa Nigeria for more this prelims ni bi ekire baby Ghana descend to ain't first leg ni there nyamian Ukraine hunya 3-0 there against Benin no team qualified there then probably we have no excuse excuse bia every possible excuse bia and this time more F in abaso say every possible excuse bia can wait imagine so they make a case if they don't qualify F na making sure say they catch all those excuses enra na Kenya say bi omo the bus be form akọ Benin o say mu say that one be fe mo chartered flight Air Force flight no mo de ko ya wo de akwaduru sa abro no so and the coaches I think the game is done practically. It is for us to lose it. We shot 3-0 against Benin now away. Now could lose to there. Let us say lose game to them. Men I'm your coach now. I will not change so many things in the team. In this game, we only need to defend. It is a proper defending there. I'll sacrifice Imoru for Brantia, your friend Aiden Scorsa. Because defensively Dennis Corsa is solid, better than Abrantia, your friend Imoru. Say I didn't KHC game no. Yes here and away go there. Come to see Imoru ahead of Dennis Corsa. But I said 3-0 we need proper defending. And between Dennis Corsa and Imoru there, obviously say a defender there. I will shoot Abrantia friend Dennis Corsa ahead of Imoru. Center back partnership no. You don't fix anything when it's so broken. The last game now 2 players in both together no. Yeah, Omar mistakes be they were very solid. Mualasa could not do Yadom. Even Mualasa had a go. Me say coach not try to fix anything. A brand Augustine Randolph was solid. For my team, Kotoko is on the radar of Asante Kotoko. Backline idea. Me coach, Sana me coach there. I didn't commit me a twist ya. Abrantia Danlad Imoru. Any Abrante Fendeni Kosa position, no, me a twisty. I was so much impressed with Abrante Fendeni free brand movement, mobility, where striker and now forward player on Faku. Defenders ain't feel comfortable playing against such players. Oduba Ranessa. I think say the energy level in there it will come in handy for the Black Galas and a channel game now or more airborne. But beyond Abrante Fendeni, a free banner, Evans or say Usu. Andy. Me sure say be a Premier League class no Efrasia Sporting da Division 1 play we see Academa Palma Tema Youth last season Division 1 league no obo I think say 28 matches 20 goals 18 assists and onya 12 MVPs man of the match awards in kwa oji yankwa in those 28 matches no na 12 for a Division 1 player on testy Premier League that now over straight into our local blasters tells his quality and game no boy no now I'm feeling intimidated and could be a Division 1 player our national team big players to the match chain was a atmosphere no able overshadow him but he was not intimidated in any way by the occasion and I think say the coach can still use Abrantia your friend Evans will say Usu the only twist and commit to make here with team America can apart from that nothing should be changed in this team now the same team against him your friend Benin if you are not winning this game you should not lose it so maybe sure say first leg results is protected we qualify to the next stage Asante Kotoko ne lamte case too complicated. And now you can say Kotoko is not banned. And Kotoko intiminko castle in any way. Se Kotoko will be beer on betimia. I think Se Kotoko send a positive message to their players. Once you are a player, Semtua, Yenya Osa, Emanko fighting. But I think a lot of these fights should be done behind the scenes. Lamte Nanyani case. Lamte Konabe support Lamta. Sit behind. I'm very much sure say Pate case na wonyano. Asna and leave Pate alone. Yeah. But every support Asna will be given, will be done behind the scenes. So when you're very careful. Now throw your support at this moment. Nasa Pate could differ. It will affect your brand. Okay. A brand friend Lamte has been accused of match fixing. So you throw your support our camera him. Obi also support to Sadino. Na Lamte kono ko difo o say o brand no say baby at this moment Lamte is found guilty because we are going through processing now or difo it Lamte has been pronounced guilty so baby their support a brand here na of which I me didi me na me Kotoko member me nya Lamte sa because my investment with mu say Lamte no mo maboka say Lamte trafie sa 30 months ni we no koba one have football for one team mobium. Etim no mobi bia metimi aye. Etim dia bo abrante na me as a management member of Asante Kotoko I will do it. But the difference is that come the camera behind the scenes and not let the camera see say I'm throwing my support behind abrante ya. You are finding the guilty at this moment so I fix the game. That's the only thing can make me aye. I think say here I'm on first support the man abrante in there. But most of those support should be done behind the scenes. Na Kotoko pre-season coach in sense in their own interest. Se coach in Bekwa enyentem almost solving in tentem. Na new coach in Beba and tentem. Let's fix this at this moment as early as possible. Because a bad day now an assistant coach back on 30 pre-season. That's one fixing problem as early as possible. Not dragia me better season, and I feel solve it. Not new coach bar, a new coach come, no preseason whatsoever. I'm far. Who do you blame? Preseason, the enemy baby. You identify so many weaknesses, strength, you build on them. Even condition of the players, is done during preseason. Okay. So it is very much important. Say over your preseason there, it should be done with your coach, not any other person. And you made a very fantastic point. So what if even the new coach ba now the assistant coach or pre-season, new coach has been implemented, assistant coach ba, what are you going to make of that pre-season? And coach na coach in the beko ogum prosper bekwa as early as possible, fix it. New coach in eba sa transition, it should not be dragging that long. Say dragging that long now, team best suffer in the long run. I was Santiago to team, and they should solve it as early as possible.
Mate, Biggie, Remo Kama mena fisem ni mo.
And the Mama Shas young friend baby as a Christian I believe say in a football club. Nipa was on a building when it comes to the playing body. Certainly should be the coach. So before Fobia Bebema, Ebiane advice back one at him be, and now they bear the technical head, which is the coach. Okay. But apart from decision as to the Obeba, as to the Obeko, style being necessary, those are things that was a coach in a chess animal. Kumasi Asante Kotoko has a stance now, any coach, and so therefore the question is, Yababa Beshe season national. Coach Paspanate Ogum in the just ended season, I want a style obo, which is that possessive football. But Mimi said that is not the only style of football we are saying. And apart from that, say coach Lebanon of a own style mpo. But maybe a formation and a Paspanate Ogumbo. You him so about the 4-3-3 formation. Attacking style. Ebi obi be born also be the same 4-3-3 formation, but obi the flat 4-3-3. In tactics, in formations, some no both the same component. There are variations, and so therefore, ube here, say coach ne be ba no na ba be share the pre-season ase. No what share the kind of style of person the real season demo. What share the philosophy obe you see for the season. Na players that me atias here and san ampo you read the new season mo. They be a make us a football na say a classroom. Akwala bi wo a wo che na de na aka ni tirim obu wo no ma wo che na de na just was saying sua continually and sana aka ni tirim obu wo sua ne na ni rebefi it just an exam say ba be ben am no akwa sua no de atro ne exams no watwa sana football ne tie players no bia ne IQ obia ne how we see adapted to system obia ne kwa be fa so adapted to tactics it is a coach ne bantema no ba be kira and a players now omo ye slow no Ebia inu say yen start season no much me adapted to the style. Now if you move to the coaching system. There is one player who Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Last season, Omuko Dubai, no, he was part of the team. Me no be din command and nipa na catch him say player say me see there. Hype kese pa won so but this season say be fa be den. Because adie bia ni wana coach ni kire Dubai na player ni team here. Eventually, omo ba Ghana no mbebo game no. Player na team live up to expectation. The kind of ball I know about in the team, and sana all joining Kumasi Asante Kotoko no. Ye hu sa de na sa. It is certainly. Se coach le bantema, and obetimi a share the name and one the kind of players obetimi adapt it. Omo mu betimi ate ase. No mo hu how obeti aye adwuma in the coming season. Se Kobase player na bantema. It is going to affect Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Apart from the league, we have an African interclub competition to play. Yeah. Which is just around the corner. Those who are going to compete with Ashomu pre-season, I say, Yawahana Semba 2 Kwano Ko Egypt. A pre-season no kwa. These are the same people you are going to meet in Africa. It will not shas, you know. Yaso shas ye Bruce Winterman when ye koko. Or she share Jumane deba. Once so what's it stands now. So Benti and Asa Seme simple nebabe coach, you don't even know. At the time Bena or Beba. Not coaching him po. Yet it say be a foreigner. If it is a foreigner, a friend will be the Ghanaian terrain. And sana do no baba bechi and watch it. Only maye and be a conversant with the environment impo. Nan campese. Omo baba be jumanso. Etimiatenase. And if it is the coach we are hearing about language crampo. Also say another problem. It also bantem. Now players near familiar with the coach. Ema niema to tom and sana ya started preseason and yes sir. A bit me a problem the Amakumasi Asante Kotoko in the season. Okay. And the Kakrabi on a black galaxies. Okay. You need excuse be saying to me qualify this particular header.
Because of the 3-0.
Of course. Unya Terezera. They also had this particular moment they thought we could defend it. And the defenders no move jinamano. Omona asudie da omoso. The likes of Konadu Yadom, Mohamed Al Hassan. And then I expect to say a lot of the defensive duties. Yebehu Kasim Razak or Baba joining the central defenders whenever there is pressure. Young go play goals in Fanya Shay. Said the Nasser Christian Ekan.
Coach is over 2-1.
Coach bet me a Canadian. Almost there are times I say a co tournament and I say a co event bia and I a co game bia. Coach no. Young Drew Park and so on a captain. It is saying no di dominant anymore. On to be my one say my can't me wo Andy say. A sana ye koni ye kwakwa ko Lucy. And as a sana ye koni ye kwakwa ko Pedro Debbie. I was all can't be one thing. Next serve as a motivation. Now working on the players and the psyche going into that particular encounter. It was only coach ready or the sans but deep down within, I know what I will say on for 2-1 and you're here and it's over your qualification. And you said you're not Christian Ekano. That side, the left side of a team. Yes, I never knew was all my. It has only more Bekasa. No one restricting the movement because Imoru, in as much as a defensively, because I had the pano. Immoral problem, they say, or corner him a lot of qua, number only be seen a chair and then a problem. But so over 5 more Honum also watch a lot of goals, a problem. Defensively, he's also very good. But Sergeant runs lady, of course, our enemy yet to say Immoral. It is only Immoral Casa, not say Immoral and corner him baby. He can solidify that position. That is number 1. Another number 2. Ubeyi the figure now the discourse about Babesho. No, I stagnant figure. No, central defenders now. Said they bear all attack baby. And I believe the coach in the Sanima we are. Ebe Timmy Abua, our the needed qualification Ghana Agricano, Yetimiania because the Chan tournament is a tournament I shall ye. But I can't anymore, ye bobiache. And this is the opportunity. See a Timmy qualify.
So
Andy. Yeah, some Kotoko new coach. You see, last season, I did back a referee. The preparation of Kotoko now is extremely different. The preparation of Kotoko ahead of the season. Kotoko different. You can just pick your phone and type quotes about preparation. Now check it there. Wealthy people, successful people, aka about preparation. Unfound preparation in Diagro. So all kinds of idea new year. I don't want who they're picking out their watch keeping that kind quote about preparation. I think there's this common one. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Yeah. And here very common. But there's one. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Okay. Last season, Kotoko, spiritually, physically, psychologically, financially, they prepared for the season. Also, na first na Kotoko, Nana Amponsan by and high sense there. Na player abeshi go etia Kotoko na Ojiska. It don't say Daniel Friebani has Kotoko Accra 1-0 no say no Ojiska. Bekum Chelsea guy ba ko bisu shebi. Olympics boy bisu share Kotoko. Emma Olympics for no koto Twitter handle say omo twa musika na free Kotoko for. On say Olympics for no mo pese do omo twa musika na free Kotoko. When him the Kotoko company for they twisted that. Omo change the do because amount for kan wan sama and omo move on from away player beje to yedebema legends. And that was a spiritual preparation ahead of the season. Because yesu ura kuro bia opese otintima omo nim kuro na se no omo nim kuro no mu no ofanamfo omo na bebo amo atintim. Football amanfo believe say a religion, and ade bia a religion bia involve spirits, and religion were gods. Okay omo maye bi pen no mostly omo na worship omo treat omo like the gods. It won't say Ghana trophy ni ntimi nje no o ha na o player bi aba yesika amon fama enti na muntimi nje. So Kotoko reconnecting the club, the present state of the club with old players was a spiritual preparation. Okay. Enti edru be Kotoko bebo a no pokunti di akire na George Kennedy di akire na Safu Jamfi di akire enu ya den na unya managerial advisor. These old players comes in with this aura around them. Ombe free or not the moral our camp na pager. We in a spiritual preparation. Because yes, old players association. Kotoko winning match amenya 4,000. Old players no so nim nyoma bi omo ye ya. Omo time e ma Kotoko di nkunim. They will try and do that to help the club. And omo ma club no so straight the code Dubai. Because signing na Kotoko ye no. First time omo ko Kofodia. O Kofodia de tibia o tibi. But Dubai omo time no any air time ni nyepe.
Yeah.
Nti ebia e ho for a ebia ha we different time.
Yeah.
Time zones ni.
Yeah, da ebia no mo training.
Omo training
so na ebia.
Nti ebia ye wia na sunyani na ma aba ye no ho analysis no. That time wada.
Onti.
Obesore ne ya da o ko training. Nti sa Kotoko ye pre-season a we can we na rewura players ni team no. Omo yi sa de no every team no so. Jombe Ghana. Check their comeback spirit. First game against Dreams as the first goal. Fatal goal no say. It was a brilliant goal by all means. Oteki on close to 3 Kotoko defenders. Single-handedly. Solo job. And not say a goal no. The comeback spirit. Come back and free Obiaho. Isaac Opon. One in any Isaac Opon. But Kebio Kroma Kepia hit na kona sumwama. Press Ebiaba bedane so. But Kotoko taking away from the press Obaya instant impact. He assisted Mudasiru, scored a goal himself, and a Richmond Lamte de Bakwede account. That was the preparation. Into Kotoko company for the Omoye in the last season. I feel be a champion. Expectations now also no so. I say a champion has everything to lose. Rather than the one battle. Because me ministry na me be preo. Me ba na me nya hwe a se na me ba ene no ana me ko.
Tina say the other for munsura ase.
Good. Wow, you champion na akuta bibi. Se wo ba na wo kona bibi afiri wonsa na se wo lose bibi. So Kotoko should know that send the last season man for targeted has. Ana has no go for ba man for bonetary just to prove a point say ya champion. And no na man for be Kotoko this season. And the preparation in the last season, this season should be ×5. Because to get to the top is easy, but to sustain yourself,
that's the problem.
That's where it gets difficult. In the Champions League, no be better back on. But they be a Real Madrid about so aje. Nenya di obi etimi. Even the great Barcelona team etimi that AC Milan team with Carlo Ancelotti, Seedorf, Ambrosini, Del Piero, Inzaghi,
at the point they had Ronaldinho.
Omo etimi anye. Tina de be a Zidane abaso so wajeje yen. Inti Kotoko. Last season before some best start pre-season, they had a coach in the shape of Ogum. Inti omo hit the ground running. This time around, they should just be careful. Don't forget there's Africa.
Yeah.
Africa no kona when match ni year. Sa demotivation no. Losing spirit no. It miti besi league no. Tisha have to folk. Omoko Africa na enfan bo say atia besi league no, and it instantly creates pressure on your team. Yes, because Africa no the stadium pa dey say me no dey bia no Kotoko league match ahun attendance.
Yeah,
Kotoko Africa ahun attendance. Enti amanfo ni di Africa no, enti Africa no wentimi anya ni year
yeah, affect season
nyina. Enti adwuma na da o ma Kotoko this season e so chen last season. So be free nowhere be a star. In your process no attacks in so. But the moment I be a star no, na attacks na doso. Kotoko is the champion. And everybody playing against the champion in with extra preparation.
Because so Obia so Obia target how to take you out from there on so about
last season you had here. Kotoko ko share Adriana. Where so this season Kotoko Adriana for the no way agro. That is it. It may be a last season who pick points no. I feel we last 2 seasons now Johnson Smith Kotoko share Karela. This is who come they see. Some board draw.
Yeah, board draw.
It was a game Kotoko to some extent were even lucky because they were playing with 10 man with the red card. Agadas. And to be a share in the last season. I feel we then ya dan so and the two Kimfesa no. O share Kotoko share Adriana na nko for se jai. We nye Kimfesa na first or ba. Utimi share ni. Udi agroba be show because wa share Adriana share Kotoko. Inti wa share as good. Kifesa first 6 games no. Na teams are kesi we nyina odi omuti atofom. No wahye wafa. Nse se na fe obiari Kifesa bebo a. No so we di agura obema agura do. And that is what will happen to Kotoko next season. So ometime do the top. But sustaining it will come in with so much job. So they should hit the ground running.
Okay.
And yes, sir. Andy, yeah, 2 house. Yeah, and Cassie be to Kotoko there. But it will be a ding for Santa Kotoko.
So bad, I don't want to know. Yani, Moral.com for and so bad to us. But darling Paul.
Yeah, Andy.
Black Galas is there no Remuka Krana Fiasana. Yani Moral.com for so etime to us. So Black Galas is Santa Kotoko.
Yeah, Andy. Black Galas' game no away. Already the Kenya 3 goals dada. And right after game nearby so ewo Ghana hano. Utie Benin coach no post interview ni ya. That's what he said. But Okase ni team ni Felino on the middle. The midfield play no where nyanyema the way I was sharing.
Said we set up the midfield no said no open
Bioni Roland Mono that support and also with the midfield no or man farmer no. And when the midfield ni breaky no that was when or try say or best switch play at the aqua wings. And we are later stages of the game. Ghana coach and a worker and so make key changes at the Imoro Banenim and or did the discourse Banechi. Send a beya or mo best stop it. Baby, I've been in for
Chelsea Major Champions League against Bayern. No, who's our ball? Ashley Cone and Ryan Bertrand. They were the same line. How many defenders?
Yes, and anytime a coach be able 2 defenders, ever line so no 1. Abia or try say or give you support to defense, you know, ever that side just to restrict opposition,
opponent, yeah,
because. Say opposition no try say or transit ever down with wa. We here defenders are tactically and technically or we are very disciplined when it comes to say in defending. Enti Imoru we are restricting at the point no support midfield no but we will give you enough support to aid in scorer. But coach ne plans a party no one say a midfield.
Okay.
Last week, you know, Ochake and work a game now. Or approach a game with 4-1-2-3 formation. Razak Kasim and a ball backline in him. And no ball Suraj Seidu. And a glass Nawako as 2 central midfielders, offensive midfielders. And Razak Kasim and him. And any one or ball to na tukwe Banye and Evans Oseusu. And what the front 3. So it tells you say yeah anima very very effective because of how we are setting up. It was 4-3-3 attacking 6-10 and you did a game nim. But the question is, you be said could both the same 6-10 mana. No, it was here almost strength. They are responding to almost strength. No, enti abra ye ko game nim no. Maybe free say per coach in some more can post interview no actually say I was a no worker I share the midfield play ni ye you bet me about 2 base midfielders you about 1 holding 1 base midfielder a brand new about Ghana because ni you person ya attack Benin for no but here kwa away already or 3 goals. Why don't we augment or strengthen your midfield play no when you defending and it doesn't come in say I was say yes defenders but we can play midfielders or more da defending mindset midfielders me give you enough protection guide to your central defenders
players make sure say entwen kra ma ball no kra za
your defense no enti your ball Razak Kasim ewo Ghana adenti ne add 1 defensive midfielder and can near more 2 holding midfielders. That's how ABA approaching game no Benina and also bet my boy am points. Yako no 1 thing I was here ɛne sɛ ɔmo bɛ attack yɛ obi ahoɔden wɔ ne fie obi ahoɔden wɔ ne fie and when it comes to any football now ontimi shut down predict with ease obi are very good especially when you have a good coach tactically obetimi approach game no very very well and the system within the system yeah ball no how anowoka and so betimi a manage game no game management very very important so me free say you betimi qualify wa area yes we can score goals but we can try say you betimi catch you in the midfield. Now you must transition from the midfield third to the attacking third. You know, I am very difficult. Okay. You have enough protection to your back line. A bad thing say, I'm transition from the midfield. A difference one, which is one attacking third one. A very difficult. And you ever try out blocking all the passing lanes. Send your if someone ever say, I'm creating chances. A very difficult the amomo. Yenya 3-0 and a very good for Ghana and Amayan qualification no ay easier and Nigeria there no and a difficult kakra.
But any can class I held the winning Asana we start to take
exactly
Nigeria there because I
don't difficult kakra but for this one there me free say with any tactical system and no work any technical team no and so the approach exactly
3 goals fear they call into the second
I don't think say bet me we match but some very slim it's full of uncertainties but we are just hoping say you be qualify ewo away
Mate be as darling Paul and I would say can mama fa birthday we and fa emra na obi na send the mama na ose kwaku insia edu yeboa okay I don't need birthday happy birthday to kwaku insia edu yeboa from Okusku Angel Educational Complex and then when nyame admochina and onya 3 years na ne papa NSC and wish no happy birthday enti kwaku insia edu yeboa of Angel Educational Complex nyame admochina and ye birthday enti happy birthday in advance na menchia Jarish na menchia Jarish na menchia members ni nyina menchia team ni nyina we say ene mu nyina me akasa be ball chairman na po boss mechia on Seki ne Lord Bosti bash ene yamus mu nyina mu tie munam kwas mu tie ti ye chiacha mu nyina babia mu obi amotie nka ye chia mu nyina be ka se ene ye ni moral.com ebe di djuma ewo ye ene djumadi so na omanya ba bedru ekwan bia so eden moral ne kakra ebenya moral ne kakra Saturday si no nya ne se ya na che se ne manyina ekwe but before say me so me di kan ka say moral.com e ba no be sending message bisa say and then program bi e koso wo ba bia na moral.com atoa e studio because you say moral.com beba studios as ya say event bi e ba be koso ansa na yate wo nka but me ankasa minim if there is any event ema moral.com e ba ya na me nimba just be find out any few man ankasa if there is any event inti joe momentary mu di ntia ene mabore ni se fia de yemu fie attend bia mutimi ba but obi na send message ni wisdom say if there is going to be any program you know say onu so be hu na nka ne wa join mu nyina na oni makwa akwa program you know ma membisa ju on them rank ni nyina ba bedru na me so man sana you say bia there is any program because jo boko there
boko Kasilas
message na message obi send them say missimoral.com ba had a program bi because wo ba bia na ohun fan kan schedule minim say fia ye mu fie anytime bia mutimi ba but e dey na dem ba ha na no pay
me da say Kasilas me chia Pure FM etiefo ne omo hwe o Facebook nyina animoral.com adofo nyina anope de boni bia anim nyankopon adom yenya mfie num poli enum 5 years enye easy nti ye 5th anniversary celebrations and ayegusu ayeye and ayeye radio tour I said o sika Pure FM de ye free dadam nyina ye ne mo eba fifufuro yi mo abisi samri na COVID-19 therefore yi ene ma ye ba fiache but ene yaba nti 5th anniversary ne ho media tour radio tour ti ne wa
but anniversary meaning more planned events be a more ya na you who
no the aka major ni nyina mami bray high priest
okay
on na major man aka the aka ni nyina
I presume meaning was close to settle will be to settle
fast out boko nana
baby I'm telling you I say me
asami ya kese
baby I'm telling you I say
oba akesfo na no mo nam ni ntimi hu we say me dodge
kesi bi tell ma etio
nana MZ FIFA anniversary ne de hu no ma ne doso January 7th and a lunch program no e wo Kumasi City Mall fe a lunch bar man san ma ne say moral.com yanya 5 years en share na egu on doors ye cleaning bi wo ye quiz competitions bi wo blood donation bi wo ye was some trips bi aye beko media tour no so enya hanko a on moral.com ne dey atene wo we are say for nani na ti ayese ye be free Kumasi also akone nam Cape Coast na nkran ne sunyan ne ade ansa na ye wia December mu ono yeah the kese na ngasa UK so your sponsorship bi ho no ma
amugo UK
yeah ko Dubai na ade senior yeah bro na Kofi Kinata nya na owo US na ade o yeah kasa
Dubai no mboko
yeah
mboko UK aka ho
wa dom ni nyame adom
nti Manchester na beba
o say
mboko UK na se na
ye nyina kwa Oliver Kahn na de ko de e Oliver na de transship mu de akọ ono na be san de abasina
ko de ode mbako
na boys de ma
na ni di
esa team bi okromo the players go pre-season omukoko duru ye no empenfo no mu lead team no kwa ni ehu o na say Common Games no Uganda for box 6 omo efini ka chom so omo sira omo agudi no omko no se omo amomo no agudi
on the kasa se pese @moral.com international si akwa ye be je bi wo Omat international branch honum that's
it anniversary na radio tour no
yes December na de hwehwehwe pa ye ne munyina na eboma de dwuma de kese pa ewo ye hwe one of the biggest hall e wo Kumasi say
okay na anniversary no pompon so ankasa wo December
na ankasa tight one pa
okay ti moral.com no na wati omonka nti wa wo send a message na obusa say program na ebeba so no eno no ma cheche mu no omo faith anniversary but my idea 5 years nko bia mtia ba omo de no me ka omo hu so omo de no mema ne ma
ebe pass
ya na ma mi no ku no ma ku ne ku na gu what's up with bregu
be wan say oba ba ku anyam
problem but my idea
moral.com discipline
oh yes make you can organized groups are how am come rehearsals like NTC am the year man go guys maybe one so much more thing but
moral.com
to get them together and then my idea but some of them so they mon kosa akwa
dabi
and Joe kai no
say ye sha see kra no we say di kai ma we say okonna madam wa yenwunu too much ba say we say di kai wo me ha say ma ebi edru atiefo no mo so hu say pure enye agrokra na mudi ne ha zanda kra na ewia ye de nkomo na ankasa ye de
okay
ashisho
chama BKB se menchia mo ne oheneba manager 50 o se menchia mo man mo pa omutu kwan but nyame ada mo na mkwa mo mba bidu na sports center and so maka say jerseys ni available sports center quality jerseys ni na available sports center makumba bo so positive and abenya team bia jerseys no bo na o say me shem Madrid and but bombom any toti ade o maye me nwumre no and ama manhye but still na ohumi ama hye bayan ni nyina every sports center perfect printing so no bibia printing bia na perfect print and also ba omo ewo eya asokwa TV3 anasa akoma FM echi wono ma na ubenya perfect print embroidery nyina mbe ne kama enso de amamo ti sabrede ye jemu area ma moral.com na omo de afemu kakra na aye say the action no isi enti jo onem writing over to you
moral.com 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 ye beda onwa o ma support yen emfie numi nipa bebre me kase mebubo din a ahwe na makoja obi wo nti obi a wa support moral.com for this 5 years journey nyanya kase nyame nye den o nhira no ginyame nko obi antimi mo ne form da
Yamishano. Corporate institutions be supporting or mama the platforms, especially Bright Can Cambodia boss. Yamisha, if you that the embassy day one, maybe how do you call or Henneba Sports Center, Yamisha, Mr. Bernard, Copenhagen, Denmark, a rent me few, Yamisha, your manager and Abinya Namel, Yadanasi. Moral.com, 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 Corona di ekosie nyame na dumti enwo mote enkacha yabo jamana bo na mo meshi Corona di ekosie nyame na dumti enwo mote enkacha yabo Jamana buna mo meshi ye corona de ye kosie nyame na dumsi enwo mote ye kacha yabo mura.com yabo awo corona de ye kosie ayawe nyame na dumsi enwo mote Kasha Yabu Amura.com Yabu
professional mura, inspirational mura, and positive mura. Creativity is our hallmark. We are mura.com. Professional mura, inspirational mura, and positive mura. Creativity is our hallmark. We are mura.com. Professional mura, inspirational mura, positive mura. Creativity is our hallmark. We are mura.com. 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 The mura place yeah, Jenamikwa. The mura champion. Yeah, Jenamikwa. Oh, Mora.com. Mora.com. Mora.com.
Okay, and Jano, I am Mora.com and I was your kind of 5 years and easy cry. Jano, I said this year, now said Omodica can Yamma December and a mega one no and sweet in your basunti as time goes on, no details, baby. I know wouldn't say be the first to know how I didn't and sweet media mammo. Hi, priest, then I'm with San Marco.
Cassia, Sam say Mora.com if you had it. Yes, by Friday form. Ya by dear. Yeah, kase Mora.com 5 years. Your normal be bria, your mama and sign. Munim Juma yedi say weddings, a bar engagement, a bar I product activation. Say oh ye program be ye making ya home mount a year ye beba. Said the end you be die divorce. And I'm a boy. And no dear ye mpenku gone sa no mano. Aside no dear nana say ye picnic, a ye games, walk. Bibia nana yejinamu Mora.com and a PF here. Ya catch it for some more expected the best.
Until Obi person contact him na Onyamo for events na minimum numbers amode.
Obi person contact Mora.com. The first of all, your all social media platforms.
Okay.
Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. At Mora.com or type ya udru ubenya kama o person offer so numbers no 0245 75 11 42 0245 75 11 42 what is ahuma ya obi beje so kama pa ni wadi nkomo bi e wo honom ya bo anya de badwuma no so de ebedi ama kama pa.
Okay, era se da masese mo baaye na mo beka e ho ma adwumadi no nyina enso etimi ye kama dim se ebrepam no ye be sanso ate eye mo nka bi Mora.com na woti o mo nka this year na nyame admo tena se game bi e ba so Poba 11 ene Geneso number 1 ewo efiaku bi SHS o china no miensa omo from
fraya ye jina mu ka se ase jina mu.
Okay, ati me di Andrew so subeti aframi anti Caslas me na metena mu enso edema chairman BKB ne ewo dwumadi ne so woti abedwafo nyina nkanyame aduma on Monday obesa so ati enka on Pure Morning Sports. Yes already a DJ Abisho se ne beto aso na wodi dia kenyina enso aba manager Siedu mamenchia ba bia wo bia manager Siedu Pini Zahavi mamenchia opapa yebesa ne edema dia share bim sabre dia Abisho na eto aso de wo bia no. This
is what many wireless networks look like. But hey, this is what they actually look like. Introducing Kenny Rose Wireless. Switch to Kenny Rose Wireless and enjoy streaming